going to be talking a little ESPN versus Big Cat when it comes to the football watching goes for all major stations. I mean, quite frankly, Muhammad Ali's Rumble in the Jungle belt was sold and purchased by
It's your end. It's not mine. You lowered the music and so did your voice.
Can you hear me here? He's rebooting.
Yep. Nope.
Hello?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, something was going on your end. I didn't lower my sound or nothing. I just turned the music off, and that's what happened. Let's not get into it now. Let's just get on with the show. What usual doesn't matter. What was doesn't matter.
Absolutely doesn't. All right, results. Let's do this. It's what everybody's waiting for. The results. Carter had at least 2 hits. And Frank Catnato's franchise record was 6 of them. Now, the top of the 5th inning was the most runs ever scored by the Blue Jays in one inning, and the most scored in one inning with 2 outs in the history of baseball. The modern Major League Baseball record for runs in a game is 30, set by the Rangers against the Orioles on August 22nd, 2007. The all-time mark is 36 for the Chicago Colts against the Louisville Colonials in 1897. Saturday's results, almost a clean sweep. Free picks 3-0. Oakland money line over Texas, 3-1 win there. Cleveland and White Sox over 8.5. That was game 2, won by half a run. Milwaukee minus 1.5 over Colorado is a 9-4 win. Best bets 3-2. Houston team total under 3.5 runs. Took the win there with 3. Then Toronto and Boston under 8.5. 5 was the number there. Took the win. Minnesota money line over Detroit, which should be an automatic pick when you're playing the Tigers. 8-4 win there. Yankees minus 1.5 over Baltimore. Lost 6-3 there. And then the Mets and Padres over 7.5. No bats there. 2-1 loss. Then the results for Sunday free picks. 1 and 2, Chicago Cubs and Philly over 9.5. Only scored 7. Now, Cubs starter Drew Smyly had a perfect game, of course, going into the 5th, when Bryson Stolt hit a 2-out double to left center that eluded a dive from center fielder Christopher Morel. Smyly allowed only 1 run on 4 hits with 4 Ks and no walks. Of course, Smyly will have a hell of a day when we're betting on him. Yankees easy win over Baltimore. Judge is just continuing his destruction, 37th home run. Fellow All-Star Nestor Cortez pitched 6 sharp innings, and the New York Yankees beat the Orioles 6-0. Oakland money line over Texas. Lost there 11-8. Martin Perez allowed 4 hits over 7 strong innings to extend his dominant undefeated streak and beat fellow All-Star Paul Blackburn, leading the Rangers to an 11-8 victory. Now, Perez is 8-2, has 6 strikeouts, and won his career best 8 straight decision. The first time All-Star is unbeaten in his last 17 starts, passing Kyle Gibson for the Rangers' single-season franchise record. Blackburn 6-6 is headed the opposite direction, winless since June 16, and the A's right-hander allowed 10 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings in his first start since the break. The 10 earned runs are tied for the most majors in the season. Best bets 3 and 3, Atlanta minus 1.5 over LA. Angels lost 9-2 there. St. Louis money line over Cincy, lost that. Cincy has been on a little streak lately. They won 6-3. Tampa money line over KC, lost that 4-2. But then we come back with wins with the Dodgers minus 1.5 over the Giants. Milwaukee money line over Colorado. And Houston over Seattle. And that was plus money, too. Seattle was bound to slip up at some point, and they did. Houston gets the win 8-5. And that is your results for the weekend.
Okay, you guys, time for Maxwell's Monday Mailbag. First story out the gate. Matthew Tkachuk was traded to the Florida Panthers, and he was also given an extension in the process, valued upwards of $76 million. He had his press conference here today in Florida, and first words out of his mouth were he now hates the Tampa Bay Lightning more than ever before. He's headed from the cold winters of Calgary to the beautiful winters of South Beach. On Friday night, Tkachuk was traded to the Florida Panthers from the Calgary Flames in exchange for Jonathan Huberdeau in a blockbuster trade. Each player coming off his career best so far in their young careers. Florida was also sent defenseman Mackenzie Weegar, prospect Cole Schwint, and a lottery-protected first-round selection in the 2025 NHL Draft. Panthers general manager Bill Zito said, Matthew is a tenacious physical competitor who possesses a tremendously unique skill set. He is a consistent elite offensive contributor and has emerged as one of the most complete and dynamic young players in the National Hockey League. We are thrilled to be able to add a generational talent to our lineup. In addition, as mentioned, Tkachuk is now under contract with Florida through the 2029-2030 season. A person familiar with the term said it was over $76 million over the 8 years, according to the AP. Big trade, CK. I was hoping the Red Wings would pull the trigger, but good on the Florida Panthers, and they got him to a long-term deal in the process.
Yeah, he brings a certain swagger. One of the things he did say he's real excited about is he gets to wear flip-flops most of the days to work. But he really, on a serious note, he loves the young core, a chance to play alongside the captain, Alexander Barkov, two-time player in the NHL. Yeah, it's a good deal. And, the Red Wings are making moves. At least we're doing something up here. The Wings fans are excited about this upcoming year, so I think that's good. Good for the morale up here because we haven't had it for a while.
No, there hasn't been anything to root for Detroit sports over the past got to be close to 10 years now.
Yep.
Since the Tigers were good. I mean, 8 years solid, anyways.
Well,
2014 was 15 was probably their last run at it. Yeah.
I know with the Tigers, there was some guy who has 3 sections set aside for tonight's game in a Fire Avelia. These 3 sections are going to be strictly Fire Avelia. I mean, it should make national news tonight because 97.1 was saying it's going to be off the charts crazy. And their security is going to be high. I don't know what they can do, but it's going to be an interesting night tonight. So, I mean, we got all the Detroit teams kind of slumping right now.
That's not going to make a difference.
Oh, no, of course not.
But did the Millen Man March make a dent? No, they gave him a 5-year extension.
Right.
Doesn't mean anything. I mean, I like to see the fans, rising up, so to speak, but Chris Ilitch is not his dad. Nope. Chris Ilitch is about the bottom line, and Chris Ilitch sees it as if I have to let this guy go and pay him for, years on his contract that he's not working, that's more money I have to pay than need be necessary. And he's a tight ass, and it's not going to make a dent, in my opinion. But something that will make a dent in the ratings is College Game Day Week 1. College Game Day, the most watched program each and every week during the college football season, is just 5 weeks away. Now, I know I'm a little ahead of my skis on this one, but on Friday, ESPN announced that the iconic pregame show will open this season with a 1-hour special Thursday, September 1st, ahead of the West Virginia-Pittsburgh showdown. The Backyard Brawl is set to kick off at 7 p.m. from Acrisure Stadium, formerly Heinz Field, where the ketchup bottles were just removed last week, and will be Game Day's 422nd roadshow. Roadshow number 423 will take place 48 hours later in Columbus, Ohio, where the Buckeyes are hosting the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in one of Week 1's most epic matchups. Other Week 1 games that are on a top C must-watch list are Oregon, Georgia, Florida State, LSU, Cincinnati, Arkansas, and Utah, Florida. Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
Let's see, where West Virginia, Pittsburgh, isn't it usually the last game of the year for them? Or there's always like a crucial game with Pittsburgh. I always seem to see on the last week, but maybe not. But I love that there, a lot of these, I guess you can call them small rivals. I guess you can call it like West Virginia and Pittsburgh. I love that they're in game 1, not the usual U of M versus like Houston Baptist or some crazy thing like that. I like where they you're excited for the week or for the season to start, and you start off with games like this. I mean, there's a lot of good games on slate, man. I love it.
Oh, without question. I wonder the Utah Florida. I mean, it's always been a pretty big rivalry. And it was really Urban Meyer leaving Utah to come to Florida that got that rivalry
okay.
underway, because Utah was his first stop in the coaching ranks after
Right.
Bowling Green, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they've built a really nice rivalry out of that, though. It's managed to maintain its sex appeal, so to speak, even with Urban no longer part of either program.
Yeah. Well, maybe that was set up for that. Personally, and as much as I love college football, I did not know Utah and Florida were big rivals. Is it just because of the coaching? Is it just because of the
It started when Urban Meyer took the job in Florida and left Utah.
Okay.
And it's just stayed a rivalry. And that was 20-something years ago, we're talking. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's just stayed a rivalry. Those two teams play each other, it seems like almost every year out of conference schedule. And it's just a big matchup. Everyone looks forward to it, especially week one. Week one. All right, man. Next story. Do you watch the SBs anymore?
No, I don't.
Why?
Well, no interest. It's
why? Why don't you have interest?
I don't.
Like, is it? Because I'm just curious, because the ratings were out and nobody's watching the Woke SB Awards anymore.
Right.
They had a 1.5 rating. All right. It's 2.5 million viewers on ABC, down 42% and 35% in viewership from 2019. They're ranked as the least watched since 2013, although in a 2014, 15, 16, 17 stretch, they had as little as 5 million viewers and as many as 9 million viewers during that stretch. And you had people like Danica Patrick hosting, and Kevin Hart, people of that stature. Now nobody's watching, and what's happened since 2019 when the ratings tanked? All facets of society have gone woke, and sadly enough now sports and ESPN, who their ratings they're losing ratings everywhere. But the SB Awards is like their own, like, hey, let's get political moment. And dude, sports are like supposed to be where you go to get away from that kind of stuff.
Well, it reminds me a lot of the crap with the movies and the Oscars and the Emmys and all that. I have absolutely no interest and really care all about that. But now the ESPYs, they are still, despite the low numbers, they still rank as the highest rated and most watched award show in sports still. So that can't say much for everything else that ESPN or any of those guys are doing, because I don't think anybody's watching any of these shows anymore. Now, the only reason I think somebody would tune in now to see, I think Will Smith will bring some more viewers back to see, if something else is going to happen. They want that shock value, so they may watch. But I just think it's just going to keep going down, down, down for all of them: sports, movies, everything. I don't think people are tuning in anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a great analogy because they're all kind of the same. I mean, it's, you got Robert De Niro up there, F Trump, and then at this award, they're harassing the vice president, the Tonys, and these ones are saying and doing this, or, and quite frankly, the Grammys are almost getting to be a little too NC-17 rated.
Right. Yeah.
With some of the outfits that these people are wearing, I mean, you can't let your kids stay up and watch the Grammys, no matter how much they were like, Kid Cudi or whoever the hell.
Well, award. Well, and it's interesting you say that, because in the betting world, you'll go, if you're going through the list of sports, or it'll have miscellaneous, you could even go to like the Grammys, and instead of asking, who's going to win best this, best that, they're like, is so and so going to show her cleavage? I mean, they're giving all these crazy rated R, rated X type of things. Who was it that showed her, what, in Super Bowl halftime? Since
Janet
then,
Jackson,
I think so. Yeah, where
wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah. Since then, there has been things on the betting site saying these are the odds. Is so and so going to, whatever? But it's always rated R, or rated X. So they're just trying to get anybody to watch anything. So if the thought is there that could happen, maybe grab a few more viewers. But I don't know, Scott. I think we may be losing these award shows pretty soon.
Good.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing. All right, man. This one I love. Big Ben, now retired, no longer in training camp, sat down with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette last week, and he said today's players are too coddled. All right, speaking to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger admitted today's athletes just aren't the same as the ones he grew up with back in the mid-2000s when he broke into the league. Now retired, Big Ben had this to say, quote, I might be standing on a soapbox a little bit, but that's my biggest takeaway from when I started to the end, Roethlisberger told the Gazette's Ron Cook. It turned from a team first to a me type attitude. It was hard. It's hard for these young guys too. Social media, they're treated so well in college. Now this new NIL stuff, which is unbelievable. They're treated so special. They're coddled at a young age because college coaches need them to win too. I know Coach Hepner never coddled me at Miami of Ohio. Neither did Coach Cower at Pittsburgh. I feel like the game has changed, Big Ben added. I feel like the people have changed in a sense. Maybe it's because I got spoiled when I came in. The team was so important. It was all about the team. Now it's about me and this, that, and the other. And I marked off the article, checked it off. Psst, hey, Ben, it's called Generation Participation Trophy.
Yeah.
And I hate this whole concept of it. I hated it back then. I think anybody could have predicted that that's what would happen to today's athletes, is that they would become soft.
Yeah.
And then with the onset of social media to reaffirm that, with their egos, it's out of control.
Well, it starts with the kids. I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago, I coached a Little League team, and we were in 9th place out of 10th place. So we were really not that good. I mean, we were losing games by 1 run. All that was great. The parents still had fun. It was a great thing. In the very last game, the guy who ran the league came around with trophies, and I'm thinking, well, he ain't coming here. We're in 9th place out of 10 teams. Oh no, it was a must. You got to give these kids trophies. And I'm like, for what? We sucked. We weren't very good. I'm not giving them a 9th place trophy because it said it right on the tag. I don't know, Scott.
It actually said 9th place.
Yeah, they had 1 through 10. We were 9th place. Royals. They had them. We were playing in some just like an extra game because of a rain out, but they had the trophies there, and I'm like, well, I know they're not coming over here. It's just stuff like that. It's like, how do I present in 9th place or in last place? Here are your trophies. It just showed. Even the parents were like, this is ridiculous. And my son had said, Dad, I can't take that trophy. I mean, we didn't deserve it. I mean, some kids get it. Some got to be coddled. Like Ben said, he's 100% right. And it goes all the way to the top. Unbelievable.
They should have said, like, for sportsmanship or something.
Right.
9th place.
Right.
Sportsmanship award. Everybody.
There you go.
Everybody gets an award for good sportsmanship. Yeah. At least then it's like worth swallowing, and you can present it to the kid without so much shame. Like,
Yeah.
ninth place. Okay.
I know.
Like,
I know.
I've never heard of that. Ninth place on like you actually put that on the trophy.
Yeah, that I would have just put a trophy to the Macomb Royals. We were the Royals, and leave it at that, or something. Like you said, the participation, and have we had a great year, because really we had a great time. We were losing, but we were in the games. They were fun, and the few we did win, they were like last inning. It was just a great year, and then we get these trophies, and it was almost like this year was surrounded by losses, but there was so much good that came out of it, and then at the very end, here's your trophy for ninth place. It was almost like a kick in the nuts, So that's the world we live in.
I guess so. I wouldn't have been a good one for that. Like the one year I told you that I coached, we lost in the World Series, and like right away, one of the moms was like, "Pass the trophies out, pass the trophies out." I'm like,
right.
Well, we were gonna have like a little party for the kids, and then call them up all one at a time, and say something real nice about them. But since you're just being a nasty hag, I don't want to see you ever again. Here's the freaking trophies. All right, you're not coming over to my place. She's the one who is always. Why can't my kid play in the infield? And he had an attention span. He was like chasing the butterflies type thing.
Oh my God!
It's like, well, next year he can play third base, but this year he needs to sit out in left field while he's doing that. He's like swatting at butterflies and stuff. I mean, well, why? Well, if he catches a ball line drive down the throat and loses his teeth, I'm going to be the one sued. So. Sorry, but he's going to remain in left field this season. Meanwhile, his big brother was playing first base, getting all sorts of action, batting cleanup and all that. It just wasn't enough.
Right.
So, I mean, that speaks to the types of people that are okay with participation trophies. But we got an NFL season coming up. I got to be honest with you. There's been so much changing going on with the broadcasting rights and the who's calling the games and all that. I'm starting to lose track, man. If he told me like a game was on today, I don't know where I would go first to find it. Do I go to ESPN? Do I go to Fox? Do I go to NBC, CBS? Right. Apple TV is going to be in the mix now. Do I go to Amazon Prime? The NFL's now offering NFL Plus. But I'll kick at a great article. Dan Zakrzewski. Apple's likely NFL Sunday ticket win signals bigger problem for ESPN and traditional networks. This is a huge piece, and I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but I just want to touch on some of the highlights. He makes a very valid point here. All these big tech companies have way more money than your traditional networks like Fox, CBS, ESPN, and NBC. See, I forgot one, NBC. Now those networks have to do battle with the deep-pocketed tech companies. When news came out that Apple looked to be the winner for the NFL Sunday ticket package, it sent shockwaves across the industry. The deal with Apple's not done yet, though. And Google is also reportedly still in the mix as they try to bring Sunday ticket to YouTube. That's interesting. With Amazon snapping up Thursday Night Football for a cool $1 billion, it's become clear that the major players are the new tech kids on the block with their deep reserves of cash. Quote, it's hard when you're competing with entities that aren't playing by the same financial rules, said Bob Iger, the former CEO and chairman of the Walt Disney parent company of ESPN. Okay, first of all, the audacity that this guy has to talk about not playing by the same financial rules when these guys have been given their own government here in Florida, which now has been taken away from them. They've billions and billions of dollars, okay? And now that their product is in the tank for the way they've run it into the ground, he's complaining about other people having deeper pockets. Now, ESPN needs new content to justify their price tag. ESPN Plus just upped its subscription price to $9.99 per month. It's a 43% increase over the prior $6.99 price tag. Now, Disney and ESPN need a reason for subscribers to cough up $10 a month. Do you ever read any of the ESPN Plus stuff?
No, not much.
Not at all. You don't.
Mm.
You've never gone on the app and paid for to watch any of the documentaries, nothing like that.
No, usually just the free stuff. Most of this, pretty much all of it that I've watched is free. But there are so many new apps out. I'm trying to get caught up with one. As a matter of fact, this weekend I just got an app called Dofu, DOFU Sports, and I downloaded it into my phone, and I could watch any game that is being played anywhere, and I can stream it to the TV. I mean, I was completely blown away. So it looks like on this website here, I could get any football I want for free, any game. I had just heard about it. I'm going to still dig through it and see what it is all about. But I was watching some college basketball, like summer league stuff, just to see how it came out. It was just like watching NBC. It was really cool. So anything free, I'll take.
Well, I'm with you on that. Now I have paid for the $6.99 ESPN Plus price tag in the past. What I like about it is it's like Netflix. You can turn it on or off. Mm-hmm. So if you're like, you know what, there's not been anything good on Netflix in forever. It's all woke content lately. I'm turning it off for now. But then when something comes out, like say the next season of Karate Kid, like, oh, I need to watch that.
Right.
So you can go back in, boom, flip it back on.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that with I do that with the documentaries, the ESPN 30 for 30s, yes, things like that. Yeah. And then I'll just go on a binge and I'll like watch as many as until I get tired of them. Right. And then I'll turn it off again.
Yeah.
Okay, that was worth $7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
10, I don't know. I mean, I know it's only a $3 increase. Doesn't sound like a lot, but if it's the same content over and over and over again, I don't know if I'm really into it. I mean, I want to watch sports, not woke messaging. Yeah.
Now, did you get a lot out of it though? I mean, is there just a lot of kind of like Netflix where there's just a lot of repeated stuff and you've kind of maxed out what you can see on it?
Well, you get the all access to the articles on ESPN.com that are the ESPN Plus ones also.
Okay.
Where they have lots of different rankings, that, insider stories, through things from your paywall type thing. So that was neat. But to pay it every month, I don't think so. Yeah. It just doesn't really seem like it's worth the price, man. Now, right. I'm going to be lost this coming football season. I have no idea where and when games are going to be played. I mean, other than you got your patented, you'll have your Thursday night Amazon, your Sunday night on NBC, and then what? I mean, I don't know. Are they still doing the one game on CBS and 2 on Fox, or vice versa? How's that going to work? Is Apple going to come into play here? I mean, what? I just don't know. I think this could affect ratings also, because you're going to have people that are like, I am not spending money on Apple TV. I don't know. I mean, just seems like there's like, it's like going to that restaurant where there's too many options on the menu.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what, Scott, ever since we got rid of cable and just went to streaming, it's been, I'm kind of mad at myself. I didn't do it sooner. Because it's like night and day. Now
10 years. 10 years for me.
Yeah,
no cable in 10 years.
Because honestly, once I couldn't even believe our cable went into the 700s, 800s, 9. I mean, none of it you could watch. It's like, why is it even up there? It's just like that menu, your restaurant menu example. It's exactly it. It was so much. I probably missed stuff because there was so much. But now it's kind of all into one little thing, and will go on Hulu or Disney or Paramount, whatever, and it's been nice so far.
Yeah, man, that's how I've been watching TV for 10 years now. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. Got to watch those sports websites, though. Sometimes they can cause malware, so you got to watch that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Jim Irsay, Indianapolis Colts owner, has a lot of money. Speaking of money. And this might be proof that he has just a little bit too much money in his bank account. He paid over $6 million for the Muhammad Ali Rumble in the Jungle WBC championship belt that was up for auction over the weekend. Now, this is interesting because the price tag is astonishing, because we'll get to it in a second. So Colts owner, this is Stephen Holder, ESPN.com. Colts owner Jim Irsay made a major late night acquisition at a hefty price tag. Irsay's latest move wasn't football related. Instead, is the newest addition to his growing historic collection. Muhammad Ali's WBC championship belt, won in the fighter's 1974 Rumble in the Jungle victory over George Foreman in Zaire, where Ali knocked out Foreman in the 8th round. Irsay acquired the item for $6 million at auction after a bidding process that lasted until nearly 4 a.m. Sunday morning. It is considered one of the most treasured examples of boxing memorabilia in existence.
Yeah.
In 2016, it sold for just $358,500.
Wow.
And then in 2017, it sold for just $120,000, going down in value. According to Heritage Auctions, the belt is one of just 2 known Ali WBC belts. The other is held in a private museum collection and unlikely to be sold, according to the company. The price tag for this belt skyrocketed by nearly $6 million in about 5 years' time.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think all these rich guys were just in there? Like, I want to know what the opening bid was. Like, they don't say that, you know. If you recall, this was the Thrilla and Manila fight.
Well, I guess my take on this would be, is it the only belt? Because you know how like Stanley Cup has 3 Stanley Cups.
Yes.
You know, sometimes. So if this is the one only, this was handed to him in the ring, then, you know, if you got the money, and it's kind of like fuck you money, you know, it's like it's kind of like in Wolf of Wall Street, where it's just, he's just throwing money at the DEA agents. It's like, just some people just have so much money, they just need to do something with it. More power to them. I think it's a super cool item. I mean, you'd be the only one to ever have it. I don't know if it's a good investment. I mean, 5 years from now, is he going to get $10 million for it? I don't know, but that's a big jump.
It sounds like he's got quite the sports collection overall.
Oh, I can only imagine if he's spending $6 million on this. He can have anything he wants.
Well, he previously purchased the shoes Ali wore in the 1975 Thrilla in Manila against Joe Frazier.
Oh, wow.
He purchased one of Ali's robes that he wore in his first fight after changing his name from Cassius Clay, which was a 1965 rematch with Sonny Liston.
All right.
He's compiled a historic collection of hundreds of items. They range from rare rock and roll memorabilia, such as the famous black Stratocaster guitar of Pink Floyd's David Gilmour for $4 million, and Beatles drummer Ringo Starr's drum kit for $2.2 million.
Jesus.
He's also got documents written by America's founding fathers, but the Ali belt represents one of the most expensive items Irsay has ever purchased.
Wow. I'm sure he's got a ton more stuff. He could probably, if you walk through everything he has, it'd be like going through a museum. just a sports museum. It'd be pretty cool.
Oh, there's no question. There's no question. Yeah, man. What a piece to have. I mean, just to have that in a nice glass display, in your house. I mean,
without really thinking about it deeply, if there was one piece of sports memorabilia you'd love to have, what would it be? Just without even, because as you were talking, I was trying to think. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
I'd love to have the pine tar bat.
Oh, the George Brett?
Yep. I'd love to have like Pete Rose's 44 game hit ball, or maybe Jolton Joe's 56.
Mm-hmm. I have kind of a twisted one. I would kind of want Nolan Ryan's jersey after the fight he had where it was all bloodied up. Put that thing in a frame.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Back in those days, they probably washed it,
Oh yeah.
Get it clean, so it doesn't have the blood on it and still or nothing. That's two big ones that I would love to have baseball wise right off my top of my head.
Right.
Maybe if you want to go the movie route, like I'd love to have a replica or something, one of the Rocky movie championship belts.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's multiple ones of those you could get your hands on.
Yeah.
Anything from a baseball movie, maybe the catcher's helmet from Bull Durham, just weird, odd stuff like that.
That would be cool.
Something I always thought would be fun to have is I hate VW vans, but I'd love to have the VW van that they
Herbie?
Around in. No, that's the love bug, not the van.
Okay.
The VW van, the Spicoli van. James Earl Jones and Kevin Costner drove around the country in, and Field of Dreams. I'd like to have something like that. Would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a car guy also. Like old 69, 70 Chevelle.
Yeah,
something like that would be badass.
I saw. It was pretty cool. I got some really good pictures of it too. I got the original Burt Reynolds Trans Am from Smokey. They had it at the Autorama, and it was his car, and it had all these placards in the inside, and it was like and they had it really looking nice, but you could tell it was a little beat up from the movies because they had, I think it said they had about 11 of those cars because they had to destroy a few, but this one was like in the final scene where he waves to the cop as he's sitting in his car with no doors or no hood or anything. So that'd be a really cool car to have.
Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
Oh my
Jackie
God,
Gleason.
His son made that movie. He was so stupid.
Yeah, his son was so stupid. Sally Field looking dynamite back in those days.
Yeah, she did. Yep.
Yeah, she looked great when she was younger. Okay, man, I got a quick question for you.
Fire away.
Which college sports program was ranked the best college sports program for the 2021-2022 athletic season? Off the top of your head, which program?
God, I was boy. Bama? It's got to be an SEC school, I would think. I'm probably way off.
That would be the University of Michigan Athletics.
Oh, come
CBS Sports, Michigan best in college sports. Michigan tears through competition to claim award for 2021-2022 athletic season. The Wolverines put together a banner season with success across their athletic department. The Fighting Irish finished second, with Ohio State coming in third. Michigan's dominance can be contextualized as such. Its 76-point margin over second place Notre Dame was greater than Notre Dame's margin over fifth place Arkansas. Michigan had quite the year athletically. The football team bounced back under Harbaugh and earned a trip to the college football playoff, completing its best season since 2011. The men's basketball team reached the Sweet 16, while the women's basketball reached the Elite Eight. Wrestling finished as the NCAA runner-up. And men's gymnastics finished 24-3, which is good for third nationally. Now, even though only 2 wild card sports are counted in our award formula, Michigan also excelled in numerous high-profile sports, such as men's ice hockey reaching the Frozen Four, the women's gymnastics finishing 7th nationally, women's lacrosse made the NCAA tournament, and both baseball and softball reached their respective NCAA regionals.
Wow.
Pretty impressive,
it is.
considering they haven't had a true athletic department-oriented school president in a very long time. It's good to see that Michigan is back on top and one of the college's best, man, all the way around. That just doesn't mean the football program.
Right.
All these sports count. You know what I mean? It's these kids are winning, good on them.
And it is, I'm glad it's a Big Ten school. It's SEC, everything's SEC, and it's nice to finally see a Big Ten getting some love out there, and they're doing it on their own, man. They've got a great athletic program, and it's hard to deny it. Being a Sparty is still, you got to give it up for the Wolverines. I mean, they've proved it, they've done it, they're showing it, so. Good for them.
Yeah, Sparty is always up and down in football, no consistency. You never know what you're going to get from one season to the next.
Yeah.
Their basketball always seemed very dominant for a very long period of time, but it seems like Izzo's losing his touch there.
I think
they've just never been good in. I mean, they had a great gymnastics program, although now tarnished because of Larry Nassar.
Mm-hmm.
And their hockey and their, wrestling and women's programs, you just never know what you're going to get.
Well, it's good. It's good for the kids.
Hey, man, this next story, this one's a big one up in Michigan. I'm sure you've heard about it. This crazy lady who sued this man that stood her up on a date.
Yeah.
Have you seen this story up there? It had to be. It's been everywhere.
I watched the entire segment. It is unbelievable. If you get a chance, it's worth watching.
Well, we're going to watch it right now. And there's so much going on in this video that we have to talk about it, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let me blow it up.
No. It's his version. First of all, do you understand what perjury is?
Yes, I understand perjury is a lie. I know what perjury means. That courtroom up in Flint, it got heated. The woman you saw there said her date was so bad with the defendant, she decided to sue him for thousands of dollars and then thought it was a good idea to represent herself in courts.
I feel for the defendant. I mean, like I said, he should have swiped left.
Too late now for Richard Jordan, who's being sued for $10,000 after he allegedly didn't show up for a date with Kashante Short back in 2020 in Flint. She says he caused emotional distress because the date fell on her late mom's birthday.
Mr. Jordan, let me just ask you this. Are you planning to represent yourself on this?
To be honest with you, sir, I thought this was just going to be thrown out. We had a date, one date, and nothing else after that. And now I'm being sued for $10,000.
Todd, you've been doing this a minute. Ever seen anything like this?
If I've seen something like this, I've seen someone go to jail.
Defense attorney Todd Perkins wasn't in on this hearing, but says the judge has the patience of a saint as Ms. Short tried schooling him on everything during this recent Zoom hearing.
Do not insult my intelligence as if I do not understand what the word perjury means.
Be quiet while I'm talking. You need to be quiet. Can you mute her, please?
Because perjury is a criminal offense.
She's walking through an airport. She's just, as the judge was muting her, she continued to talk.
The best part, besides the look on this man's face, Ms. Short didn't even file in the right court.
Bottom line is you said it's a criminal offense, so I will send it to circuit court. Are we done here?
It's wrong.
No, you don't understand, ma'am. You don't understand.
Are we done here? Are we done here?
Like several other of Miss Short's bizarre lawsuits, this one too got booted from district court. And as for the alleged bad date guy,
our hearts go out to him. You know, I think he's going to get some good dates off of his patience in dealing with this. So, you know, maybe he could use a bad moment for some good.
Reporting in Flint, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Wow.
There's a lot going on in that video.
Nope.
First thing I want to point out is the judge is in this room. It appears that he's by himself. He's at the very least social distance. He's got these plastic walls up. Then he's wearing a full face shield at his desk on top of it. And I don't know what he's thinking. Do you guys have like mask rules up there right now or something?
Nothing. Nope.
Why is this guy wearing a full shield still? I mean, the shields are proven. The shields were a joke. Those never worked.
No.
That was proven right off the bat that those were just a waste of money. I mean, looks like something my waterproofing guys used to wear or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
But then she's walking through the airport. She filed in the wrong court. It should have been in civil court, not criminal court. She just said she was going to file it and needed to be filed in criminal court, and she's wrong. The judge keeps telling her she's wrong. And then I mean, if I was the judge, I would have held her in contempt. I don't know why he didn't do something. Just because you're, you know, in court via Zoom meeting or something like that doesn't mean it's okay to start treating the judge like he's a piece of garbage. He or she's like a piece of garbage.
Yeah. You know, when you watch the whole thing, she repeats, "Are we done here? Are we done here? Are we done here?" She would not let the judge get any words in. Finally, he had to mute her, but he would say, "No, I am not done. You're going to listen." And she's walking through an airport. She obviously is not taking this as serious as she should. She's just trying to be right. She's probably one of those persons that is always right, never wrong. So she's going to make her point. The guy there just the whole time says maybe a few words, and he just looks like he wants to get out of there. This woman, 2020, this shit's been going on 2 years. This guy's probably on medication for going insane or something. This woman probably just threw him just totally under the bus, trying to wreck this guy. You imagine going on a date. I love how he said she should have swiped left. That's the best part. Oh my God, she's a maniac.
Well, she's not going to be getting any dates anytime soon. If he's getting dates for his patience, she's not getting dates for her attitude. That's for certain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, man, we got a couple of fights coming up. And I don't mean in the professional setting. Yet again, over the weekend, there were brawls galore. We had another one that happened down here in Orlando, but this time, instead of it happening at the happiest place on earth, it happened next door at Universal Studios. And I was able to find some raw footage on this one, and it happened between kids this time. In an Orlando resort parking garage. No details of what started the melee, but here's some raw footage. Animals. Why are they still lingering around? Get the hell out of there.
not saying people who are starting stuff, you are just as guilty as them. No, we gonna end up with them. What it had to do with us is nothing. We gonna end up.
I think animals is a understatement, man. Animals is being too kind to our animals, or too rude to our animals, so to speak.
Well, what the hell's going on in Disney World, dude? What are they? Is it in the water? I mean, what in the world is going on down there? We had that melee the other day, and it's just now it's carried on into the garage. And
everything's on discount in Florida at this time of year. And when everything's on discount, that's when everybody's out spending their stimulus checks to go to these places.
Yeah.
And I guarantee a bunch of them were a bunch of locals. Those weren't even tourists. Those were
Right.
locals being at a resort where they shouldn't have been in the first place. And somebody said or did something, and all sorts of mayhem ensued. So
yeah, with kids, you know, my daughter's going to be 22, son's going to be 18. I still worry. I worry every day. You know, my son's driving a Z28 now, which is just, don't get me started on that. And you know, he likes to race. He likes to, you know, kind of test the
who are you?
car out.
You had the formula.
Times were so different back then, though, Scott. You know, now, I mean, these car clubs I've seen them. He shows me videos. There's like thousands of cars of kids, you know, and it just worries that he was in road rage about 2 months ago. He was doing over 100 miles an hour, and I lectured the bejeez. I didn't care. All I heard is Chris is driving 100 miles an hour. I'm like, I can't babysit the guy every day. You know, I've sat him down, told him, said, road rage, you just keep looking forward. You just keep going, you know, but I don't know. I just worry. I worry, you know, with my kids. And I see these videos and all these kids being little punk asses. I don't want my kid in the middle of that, you know, getting a late night call. Hey, he's been in a big fight and this and that. I don't know, man, dude. Times are so different, Scott. They just are. I mean, we're going to see these videos now every day. It just seems like the world's just.
Well, here's another one. This one's only 20 seconds. We'll have to watch this one a couple times. But this one happened at Fremont Speedway. An 18-year-old kid who uses his car as a weapon time and time again. Things boiled over at this point. So let's let me pull this one here up. Now, this one happened on a dirt racetrack. We'll watch this one twice. I'll watch that one more time since it was so short. There's the driver that uses his car as a weapon. Now people are pissed. He was just gets taken down by the group. He was bound, and now you got another driver over there who's trying to get everybody off of him.
Did they say?
But you can't even blame it on skin color. The one, they were black. This one, they're white. Everybody's lost their marbles, man.
Yeah. Now, did they say, you said he was using it as a weapon, his car?
Yeah, apparently it's one of these guys where, you've got if you're a race car driver, you've got the, Ricky Bobby attitude. If you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing, know, and then you got the Cole Trickles of the world that don't want to be touched while they're going around the track.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got that whole aspect of it. And when, these guys are coming up on these dirt tracks, man, rubbing is racing, bro. I mean, that's part of the whole thing.
Man, dude, this world is coming apart. It's just
telling you,
apart, man.
Keep a weapon in the house. That's all I got to say about that. All right, man. This to me seems like the most likely and perfect destination for Kevin Durant. Boston Celtics are now emerged in trade talks with the Brooklyn Nets on a possible Kevin Durant deal. Now, it's been 4 weeks since he asked for a trade. You had the Heat, the Suns, and Raptors all involved. The Suns are now off the table and out of the market since re-signing DeAndre Ayton. But I think, man, if the Celtics can put together a nice little package to pair him up with Jason Tatum, I think the Celtics can do some even more damage than they did last year. What do you think about him fitting in with the Boston Celtics?
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be just kind of like when he joined
it's not that. Nah, they already had a couple championships under their belt when he joined Golden State.
Right, but when he did come on, it was kind of a now it's for real. We can just go to town on it. I think it'll make Boston the favorite.
Yeah, but isn't that what they said about the Nets when they got Harden and Kyrie? Like, they're like the next big three.
Yeah, I'm sure they did, but we've talked about Harden. Harden is, I wouldn't take him if he was free. It's all about chemistry. I think Durant knows what's going to work for him. I think if he could go back and know what he knows about Harden, it might be a whole different story. I don't know. But I think if he does, he knows. I mean, he mentioned Toronto. That's an interesting possibility. But this will definitely make the Celtics, it'll put them right up in the put them up in the top for winning the NBA next year. But
yeah, I think if the Celtics, I think if Miami or Boston acquire Kevin Durant, you have to immediately put them, as the second or third favorite behind Golden State to repeat as a favorite to win the NBA championship in 2023 for sure.
Yeah. That'll be definitely a solid team. But yeah, that'll put them up there in the top three for sure.
So have you seen these? We talked about the Bengals helmet about a week and a half ago. You were out sick when I talked about the Panthers helmet. And since then, we've now have a total of 14 NFL franchises that are changing to alternate uniforms and helmets for the 2022 NFL season. I think this is absolutely awesome. You have there it goes. You have the Falcons coming back with their old school helmets. This one's, we'll get into my favorite here in a minute. You got the Patriots, the Commanders, the Panthers, the Niners. So here's everybody that's coming out with a new look. We talked about the Giants bringing back their old look. I really like their old school helmet, throwback helmets.
Yep.
They need a different quarterback in that picture, though.
I know.
The Cardinals unveiled their all black over the weekend.
That is
sick. And they've got the black uniforms to go with it.
Oh, shit.
So it's going to be like, night out, blackout in the desert type thing. That's going to be worn, I think, 3 times this season.
Nice.
That's a pretty sick helmet. Although I like the flat black better, the matte.
Do you really?
Yeah, I like the flat black better than I do the shiny black for sure. Okay. I do. But it's a slick helmet. The Bears have now added an orange helmet and orange jersey to their arsenal of uniforms. Now the Browns kind of came out with the, hey, Chicago, where'd you get that idea from?
Right.
But I really don't see a whole lot of similarity in it. I mean, the Bears have worn these jerseys before, these uniforms, so to speak. The first time we're seeing the orange helmet, though. What do you think about the Bears' alternate helmet?
I'm not liking it, Scott. Just not. I don't like the light colors. I think the Bears, when I think of them, I think of refrigerator, Perry, and that dark helmet, dark jerseys, just looking
gritty.
Yeah, there's just something about that, the darkness, the black of the jerseys and the dark blue helmet. Something about it.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. I'm not a fan of these Bears.
This looks just cheesy to me. This just looks like, hey,
like they
we're
tried
ready
too
for
hard.
a tea party.
They forced it.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, hey, let's get. Everybody else is doing it. Let's do this.
Whoa.
Right, these are the Cowboys throwback white helmets that they will wear on Thanksgiving Day against the Giants. I love those helmets.
Yes.
I love these helmets.
It's hard to see, but I'm taking it that's blue, like a dark navy blue, right?
Yeah, that's the navy blue. That's the navy, the traditional Cowboy
damn, that's
blue.
cool. That's nice.
Yeah. And they're only wearing it for Thanksgiving Day against the Giants. And I'm assuming that they'll be wearing their throwbacks in Dallas that day as well. At least we can hope. Now, the Jets came out with a sick uniform and helmet. They went with the flat black look also, and all black with the Jets on the side. I really like these Jets uniforms.
I like them too. Is there a better side profile of the Jet helmet?
There isn't.
Okay.
Trust me, I scoured through social media looking at all the different ones. I could have pulled up about 15 different windows for each team.
Yeah.
This was the only insider.com is the only one who had all of them in one feed.
Well, let me ask you this. Is there, how the Jets throwback or their old time helmets, they had that jet underlining the Jets?
Yeah, I like that jet.
Is that right? Is that on there or no? Is it just say Jets?
It's not. It just says Jets.
Okay. All right. God, if they put that little jet under it, I don't know why. It's so simple, but there was just something about the jet. I loved it.
Now here's the Panthers ones that I showed while you were out ill.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yep, those are pretty tight. Now the New Orleans Saints alternate helmet's pretty sweet. It's got the fleur de lis stripe. That's what that's called. Yep. The fleur de lis. So it's got the stripe with the Saints logo all throughout. I like that one. I think that would be great with all black also.
Oh, yeah.
The Eagles have their new helmets to go with their black jerseys coming out.
Is that black? Or is it a dark green?
No, it's black. It's just, it really does. It just kind of looks the same as their regular helmets, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen that they're rolling out also their Kelly Green uniforms this year. I love the Eagles Kelly Green look. Oh, here it is. The Philadelphia Eagles will also bring back their Kelly Green uniforms as an alternate in 2023. Okay. I love these babies with the eagle on the sleeves. I just think these are awesome. Randall Cunningham there. The Falcons are bringing back their retro. They're calling it a new red helmet to go with a 66 throwback uniform they will wear this season. It looks pretty much the same, except I think the logo is the same, but I think there's some different striping.
Okay.
They got some gold tint on each side where before it was just black and white.
Right.
And then my favorite, the Patriots, Pat the Patriot. These are by far my favorite uniforms and logos in the NFL ever. Always has been. It's a big reason why I've rooted for the Patriots and Steve Rogan, Tony Eason in the 1985 Super Bowl. I was probably the only guy in Michigan not rooting for the Bears.
No, I was with you on that one.
Were you on that one?
Yeah, I can't stand it. And I did like those jerseys. They were always that. When they got rid of good old Pat, I was bummed out. I mean, is there a time to change? I don't know. I don't think so. But that right there is cool. But I'd have to say, Scotty, is that the last one there?
No, we've got more, man.
Oh, you got more. We got
the Washington Commanders coming out with their new look. Okay, so they've got the new helmet here. They've donned the black also with the W on the front and the numbers on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a couple different versions. They got the black one. They got the maroon Washington red one. Then they've got the white version as well. So they've got a whole completely new uniform set coming out this season.
Okay.
This is their new logo. So the logo is official. The Texans have a new battle red alternate helmet. I really like this one too.
I love that red. It's like a maroonish. I don't know. That's a really cool red.
It's not a bright red, but it's not like a maroon red either. It's more red, white, and blue, like the colors of the flag. To be honest with you, it is a little bit more. It's a little deeper than the red, but it's close to fire engine red.
That's nice.
Then the 49ers have tweaked their uniform by bringing back the third stripe to their sleeves and the saloon font word mark to the jersey and helmet neck bumper. The old saloon 49ers look there. Yeah. I love that. It's classic. Absolutely classic. Then we've got the Bengals helmet that we talked about. I've seen some mock-ups of their uniforms online over the weekend. They've got like a new pewter uniform that's just a pewter gray with black, and then in orange it says Bengals across the front on their chest, just above the numbers. The Miami Dolphins have a new logo to honor the 50th anniversary of the 72 teams perfect season. Now, next year, we'll get to see Bucko Bruce and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers bringing back their classic creamsicle uniforms. They were going to do it this year, but supply chain issues kind of screwed everything up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that regard. And then, no, that's not Tom Brady. That would be Steve DeBerg.
Oh, it is.
Yep. And then Seattle Seahawks are bringing back their old school Steve Largent uniforms next year in 2023 as well. I used to really like those Seahawks uniforms. I really liked their logo back then.
You know, I'm big with the shiny stuff. Always like the shiny, but that matted silver always just worked perfect with the green and the blue. Just a nice combination. I like that.
So those are all the different uniform changes. There's 14 for this season, 2 for next season. When are the Lions going to do something different like that, dude?
Oh, man. I don't know. They've thrown things up to the fans. You know, do you like this? Do you like that? And then nothing ever comes of it. You know, they changed Leo the Lion that they made it
Bubbles.
Bubbles, yeah. When you got you're calling your mascot Bubbles. I mean, it just tells you something.
I've been saying it my whole life.
It's just
my neighbor growing up. Mr. Baker was the Lions mascot, was Bubbles, and his son Dan Baker Jr. was Bubbles Jr. that would run around on the field with them at the old Silver.
Oh, wow, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
How we got going into Lions and getting free tickets, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. He was Bubbles.
I remember years ago when they had we're going to bring out the new logo. I mean, they had this so hyped up, and when they released it, you had some people just staring at it like, that's it? That's what we've been waiting on? I mean, it definitely upgraded it, but I don't know. I thought it could be more fierce, more kind of like what you're seeing here with the colors and stuff. It just didn't seem like much difference, but I don't think we're going to see them change anything like that. But if I were to pick one out of those, as much as I really was hoping I do like the creamsicle Tampa. I always liked that, but the more I looked at Seattle's, I was like, wow. I gotta say Arizona looks the best to me. That just to me looks like in your face, ready to fuck some shit up. Especially a night game, like you said, blackout. Ooh, wow. That
be really cool to see like the Cardinals and they're all black versus the Bengals and they're all white.
Yeah.
That would be a cool matchup.
Yeah, that would be. I want to see
favorite is the old throwbacks is Pat the Patriot. Of the current changes, there's so many to choose from, but I would say the Bengals helmet is probably my favorite of the new ones.
Well, I'm imagining what the uniforms look like. If it's anything that I'm imagining, they're going to look crazy cool. Now, the Bengals, is that going to be every week, or is that just a 3-game type
No,
thing?
I don't know if it's 3 games, but it's considered an alternate helmet.
Okay.
Alternate helmet. So
that'd be nice.
Yeah, man, and training camps are well underway, getting kicked off. Everybody's fully reporting this week, so we're getting 1 week closer. We're about 6 weeks away till NFL starts, about 5 away until college football starts. All right, man. Coming up on the last story of the day here, and it's a little bit more collectible stuff. The rare 1952 Mickey Mantle card is set to hit auction and might sell for over $10 million. It was last purchased at a show in New York in 1991 for $50,000. That was nearly 31 years ago. Now, a near perfect condition is insane of a 1952 card.
Yeah.
The owner of the waste management, he's a waste management entrepreneur, Anthony Giordano, who's 75 years old, has had that card for over 30 years and expected to make an enormous profit. He purchased the card at a show in New York in 1991 for the $50K, a fraction of what is expected to sell for later this year. This particular card could exceed $10 million in a 2-day event that will be hosted by Heritage Auctions, same auction company as the Ali belt, by the way. Wow. Starting August 27th. The high value is due to the rarity of the card as the mint condition it is in. The current record for the sale of a card is the $6.6 million, a 1909 Honus Wagner card that you had mentioned the last time we were talking about sports collectibles that was sold last August.
Yep.
Giordano says it's the right thing to do. My boys and I have had the cards for over 30 years and we've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed showing anybody that's close to me, friends and relatives, and I think it's time for someone else. So, in the spirit of sharing that piece of history with more people, the card will be on display in Atlantic City for 5 days this week at the National Sports Collectors Convention. It also will be displayed at the Heritage Auctions offices in New York in early August. It's quite a return on an investment, man.
Oh, dude, that 10 million bones. Yeah, he's right. That will sell for over 10. To see a card rated that high, even in the last 20 years, is something special. But 1952, it's probably the only one in existence that can be graded that perfect. I mean, even though it's not a 10, 9 is, to the naked eye, sharp edges, sharp everything. There's probably something minuscule, but I think what you said, 9.5, 9.5 or something like that. Dude, that's basically a perfect card. And it's the King Kong Bundy of all cards, man. So
I'm telling you. So my question to you is, Chris, in 1991, I've got 2 questions.
Okay.
First question, it's a two-part question, 1A, 1B. 1A, what did his wife say in 1991 when he dropped the 50,000 on it? And what's his wife saying today?
Right.
He's about to dump it for 10 million.
I think she said the same thing. I think she said, "What the fuck?" And then the second time she went, "What the fuck?" Yeah. Oh, man, if you're dropping that kind of money on a sports card, you got money. I don't know. I mean, for a guy, we don't think too much of it. The women always seem to have that problem with it. But in an investment, if you can kind of talk her into the investment now, he's laughing all the way to the bank. Like, see, I told you, hon, 50,000. But 50,000 back in 90, would you say 91 he bought it in?
91.
Yeah. That's a lot of money back then. So, but 10 million, God, love to have my hands on that bad boy.
It's a heck of a return on your investment, man.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right, man, before we get into free picks and wrap up the show, I got two surprise videos for you, actually. Are you a John Wick fan? Do you like John Wick?
No.
Oh my God, really? How do you not like John Wick, dude?
I don't know.
Like when I ask you these shows and movies like Game of Thrones, okay, I get it. Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards and Warlocks isn't for everyone. But
right.
John Wick, dude, he's a fucking badass. It's Keanu Reeves. It's awesome, dude. How do you not like John Wick?
I can't say I've ever seen a John Wick film, so maybe I need.
God. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of the plot.
Okay.
I'll give you the plot of the first one. Well, it's kind of okay. So John Wick 1, dude's wife just died. Okay, Keanu Reeves' wife dies. And like the day after she died, a puppy was delivered to his front door. And it's like last thing she purchased for him before he died. And he's got a really nice old classic car, Eleanor style Mustang.
Okay.
And these Russian punks give him a hard time at the gas station, asking him all these questions. You could tell he's very reserved and shut down. Just lost his wife, going through a difficult time. There's not much for conversation. Gets in his car, goes on his way. He's sleeping in the middle of the night. These Russians break in, they kill his dog and steal his car. Turns out John Wick, Keanu Reeves, is a retired assassin and the best at what he did. And the Russian that gave him a hard time is the son of an oligarch who he's done business with for and against in the past. So now he's just angered and he goes down to his basement, pulls back this carpet. He finds the right place in the cement slab and starts hammering it with a sledgehammer and pulls out this whole fucking arsenal. All right. And his thing's always to wear a nice black suit with a black tie.
Right.
And so the suit has armor in it and all this shit. And he basically goes on a rampage. They're trying to kill him. They take out bounties on his head. All the whole bit, man. Well, today the John Wick 4 trailer dropped. I can't believe you've never seen John Wick.
Well, I'm going to have to see it now. It sounds good.
Absolutely epic. John Wick 2, close to epic. John Wick 3 with Halle Berry. While the sights were certainly a lot nicer to look at with her in the movie, it was a little over the top. Like it was like, I think the body count in the movie was like 375 or something like that. A little over the top.
So every bullet missed him pretty much.
No, he gets shot. He gets hit.
He does. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, he gets hit. He has his finger chopped off by a Saudi Arabian prince. All sorts of stuff.
Oh no.
No, it's good. So John Wick 4 trailer dropped today. I'm gonna play that real quick for the fans. Wrong one there. This looks awesome. This looks like it's going to be a little bit more scaled down, like the original one again. So I'm excited for this one.
Have you given any thought to where this ends? The table will never stop. You know this. No one, not even you, can kill everyone.
You ready, John?
Yeah.
Dude, epic. Can't
Is that
wait.
Lawrence Fishburne?
Yes, him and Fishburne
Okay.
have such great on-screen chemistry. It's ridiculous. I mean, all the way back to their Matrix days, you know?
Right.
All the way back to the Matrix days.
Wow.
All right, I got this last video, man. This one's a little bit of a surprise. This one, shoot. This one made me laugh. I think I watched this thing like 6 times in a row. Anyway, up in Clearwater, Hulk Hogan has Hogan's Beach House, his own surf shop, and next to it, an attached restaurant and eatery and bar. Well, the Hulkster had a little Hulkster come visit him at the beach shop over the weekend. And I'm going to play that video for you right now. I'm just getting everything lined up, and then we can hop into tonight's free picks. All right.
Now let me tell you something, brother. When you walk in this beach shop, I'm surprised that you still got the shirt on, Jack.
Well, let me tell you something, Hulkster. The first time I met you, I was only 3 years old, but now I'm 6 years old. So now we gotta take it to a bigger level, man. Just like when you put that no good stinking giant over your head and send them right through the canvas in front of 93,000 Hulkamaniacs. So what are they gonna do when the power of the Hulkster and the Hulkster and the dual 24-inch pythons run wild on you?
Let me tell you something, brother.
Absolutely epic, dude. Love that kid.
Wow.
Love Hulk Hogan for making it happen for the kid.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I think I watched that thing half a dozen times over the weekend, and it.
I was
makes me
not
laugh hard
expecting
each
that.
time. Oh, it's
I was-
great.
That's
All right,
so
man.
cool.
It's after 6. Jeez, we're running late, but that's okay. Why don't you hop into the free picks?
Chicago Cubs money line over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, my Pittsburgh Pirates. Just not going to happen, guys. Not this year. Cubs are hot coming into this game, 4-0 in their last 4 games overall, and they are going to continue the success here. It's just the way it is. Brubaker hasn't gotten a lot of run support, and it's not going to be any different here. The Pirates are going to struggle against Sampson. Look for the Cubs to score a couple of runs against Brubaker. That should be about all they're going to need. Pittsburgh just not, bats just aren't going. It's going to have to wait till next year. So let's just back the Cubs with an easy money line win. And I'm surprised it's minus $1.10. Probably should be a little bit more, but let's jump on it. Now, San Diego is heading to Detroit, and Detroit is shaking in their shoes. We're not just taking San Diego to win, and we're not taking them to go 1.5. Minus 2.5, we're going to grab some plus money here. Padres are 4-0 in the last 4 games during game 1 of a series. Big deal. Whoop-de-doo. But the Tigers are 1-12 in their last 13 games as an underdog. The Tigers have just struggled as underdogs, and it's not going to get any easier in this game. Drew Hutchinson gave up 4 runs in his last start, and he's going to be lit up in this game by the Padres. This game is going to get out of hand very early as the Padres win by a few runs and then some. So let's back the Padres, not -1.5. Let's go -2.5 for some plus money. Atlanta, Philly, under 8.5. This, the over is 6-0 in the Braves' last 6 games overall. But Fried and Suarez have both been strong this season, and in Suarez's last start, he gave up no runs. Both of these offenses are coming off a game where they struggled to score, and runs are going to be very hard to come by in this game. Look for both offenses to struggle, and the under is going to cash here. Those are your freebies. Go to our site, bleacherbumsports.com, and get our best bets. They are sitting there waiting for you to come get them and cash that ticket.
Okay, guys, you heard the man. Get on over there and cash those tickets. $4.99, as low as $4.99 for the best bets. Check out our great content. If you haven't already, give us a like, hit subscribe, please. It helps us grow the channel. That's going to do it for today's show. Monday is in the wraps. We will see you tomorrow, Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.